Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something I know is really important for a lot of you. How to speak English more fluently, more confidently.
Yeah, definitely a hot topic.
And we're not just going to skim the surface. We want to dig into those specific, maybe less obvious mistakes that can really slow you down.
Right. Things that hold you back without you even maybe realizing it fully.
Think of this as your guide to spotting those roadblocks and, more importantly, figuring out exactly what to do about them. They might seem small, but honestly, they can make a massive difference.
Absolutely. We're going to break down those key areas where learners often get, stuck. Like that habit of thinking in your own language first.
Oh yeah, the translation thing.
Exactly, and how that affects your speed and how natural you sound. We'll also look at the fear factor, being afraid of making mistakes.
That's a big one.
Huge. And then there's making sure you actually speak enough, finding that sweet spot with grammar study.
Right, not too much, not too little.
Precisely, and how to learn vocabulary effectively, what to do about those awkward pauses.
The ums and ahs.
Yeah, those. Plus, making sure your practice is active, not just passive, and building that consistency, sticking with it.
And I think what's really key here is this isn't about pointing fingers. It's about giving you real, usable strategies to, feel more sure of yourself.
Exactly. Fluency isn't magic. It's a skill you build.
And if you know what traps to avoid, you really can get there.
Okay, so let's jump into that first big one. Thinking in your native language. It's so common.
It really is. You're basically translating word for word in your head.
Yeah. You form the sentence in, say, Spanish or French, and then you try to map each word directly to English.
And it comes out sounding a bit clunky, like that example, Okay, go .to.market .yesterday.
Exactly like that. It's slow, hesitant, and just doesn't sound quite right, does it?
Not really natural, no.
And the interesting thing is the extra work your brain is doing, the cognitive load.
Right. It's like double duty, thinking and translating.
It really is. You're doing the job twice, essentially, which is why it's so slow.
Okay, so how do we break that habit? How do we start thinking directly in English?
Well, the trick is to consciously start with really simple things, basic thoughts.
Like what?
Instead of translating está lloviendo, just access the English directly. It's raining.
Ah, okay. Bypass the middleman.
Exactly. Simple stuff like I am tired, not tengo sueño, then translate, or this food is delicious. Start building those direct links.
I actually found something really helpful for this when I was learning another language.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Just mentally narrating my surroundings, even when I wasn't talking to anyone.
Interesting. Like a running commentary in your head.
Yeah. Just looking around the room and thinking, the lamp is on, my cup is blue, the window is open. Simple, but it helps build that automatic English thought.
That's a fantastic tip. It builds what linguists call automaticity, making it more instinctive, less deliberate.
Reduces the translation urge.
Exactly. Which actually brings us neatly to the next big hurdle, the fear of making mistakes. Oh, the dreaded fear. It's so real, isn't it? Worrying you'll sound silly, or people won't understand.
Or just feeling shy about even trying. It can be totally paralyzing for some learners.
Stops you from even opening your mouth sometimes.
It really does. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. Every single person who speaks English fluently now, they made tons of mistakes along the way. Loads of them.
Nobody starts out perfect.
Absolutely not. Mistakes are just, they're part of the process, a necessary part.
It's like watching a baby learn to talk, isn't it?
That's a great analogy. Yeah.
They don't sit there worrying about verb conjugations. They just babble, try sounds, get things wrong.
Mangle words.
Yeah. And eventually, through all that trial and error, they figure it out.
And that's exactly how language learning works for adults too, fundamentally.
Yeah.
So the key insight is you have to accept that mistakes will happen.
Lean into it, almost.
Kind of. Just speak anyway. No, you won't be perfect, but do it. Every mistake is actually feedback. It shows you where you need to adjust. So changing the goal slightly. Not aiming for perfect grammar right away, but just communication.
Precisely. Ask yourself, did they understand what I meant? If yes, great. That's success, even if you used the wrong preposition or tense.
Get the message across.
That's the priority. Which leads perfectly into mistake number 3, just not speaking enough.
Right. You spend ages on grammar books, vocabulary apps, watching videos.
Good stuff, valuable input.
But then you hardly ever actually talk.
Exactly. There's often a big imbalance between that passive learning and active speaking practice.
It's like trying to learn to swim by reading about it, right?
Perfect analogy. You can know all the theory, the strokes, the breathing techniques.
But until you get in the pool and start flailing around,
You're not actually swimming. Speaking is exactly the same. It's a physical, active skill.
it's like a muscle. You always hear that.
It really is. And muscles need exercise to get stronger and work better regularly.
Okay, so practical tips. How can people squeeze in more speaking, especially if they're busy or don't have partners?
Good question. Well, one surprisingly effective thing is just talking to yourself in English.
Really? Out loud?
Yeah. Describe what you're doing, narrate your thoughts, plan your day out loud in English. Feels weird at first, maybe, but it works.
Okay, talking to yourself. What else?
Reading aloud is another good one. Just 5 minutes a day. Pick any English text. It gets your mouth used to forming the sounds and helps with rhythm.
Makes sense. Gets the muscles working.
Then there's recording yourself. This one takes a bit of courage, maybe.
Oh, I can imagine. Cringing at your own voice.
Huh? Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
But record yourself answering a simple question like, what did you do today? Listening back gives you amazing insight into how you actually sound. Pronunciation, fluency hiccups.
Okay, that's a brave one, but I see the value.
I know.
And obviously, finding people to talk to.
Ideally, yes. Language partners, tutors, conversation groups, even AI chatbots and voice features now. Any chance for real interaction is gold.
So lots of ways to actually use the language, not just study it.
Crucial. Now, let's flip that coin. Sometimes the problem isn't too little focus, but maybe too much focus on one thing, like grammar.
The grammar obsession. We know it's important, but
But yeah, it can backfire if you overdo it, especially while you're trying to speak.
how so?
Well, you get caught up in analyzing everything. As you're talking, your brain is running this constant grammar check in the background.
Like those internal thoughts. Wait, is it have gone or had gone? Or do I need the here?
Exactly. Should that be present perfect, past simple, arc? It just creates this mental traffic jam.
And you freeze up.
Totally. You hesitate, you lose your train of thought, and the whole conversation stutters. You end up sounding less fluent because you're trying too hard to be correct.
Spending more energy on the rules than the message.
That's it exactly. It disrupts the natural flow.
So what's the balance then? How do you use grammar effectively without letting it paralyze you?
It's about shifting your primary focus during the conversation. Instead of thinking, did I say that grammatically perfectly? Ask, did they understand me?
Communication first, correction later.
Kind of. Think of grammar as a tool to help clarity, not a rigid set of rules you must obey perfectly in real-time speech. Learn the rules, yes, but don't let them choke your speaking.
Right, let it support, not suffocate.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. What's next on the list?
Mistake number 5, how people learn vocabulary, specifically living words in isolation.
The long lists of single words. Run, fast, dog, interesting.
Exactly that. Memorizing lists of words with maybe their translation, it feels productive.
You feel like you're learning lots of words.
Yeah, but the problem is knowing the word run doesn't mean you know how to use it naturally.
Right. You don't know how it fits into a sentence properly. It's like having bricks but no idea how to build a wall.
Good analogy. You lack the mortar, the context, and the common pairings.
So what's the better way?
Learning words in chunks, or collocations, as linguists call them.
Chunks. Like groups of words that go together.
Precisely. Words that naturally hang out together in English. Learning these prefabricated phrases is way more efficient for fluency.
Can you give some examples? Like with run.
Sure. Instead of just run, learn go for a run, or I'm running late, or we've run out of milk. See how run changes meaning slightly with the words around it.
Yeah, completely different uses.
Or instead of just the word interesting, learn it in a phrase like, that's an interesting idea. Or with fast, maybe she's a really fast runner.
So you're learning the word plus how it's commonly used.
Exactly. You get these ready-made units you can plug straight into your sentences. It makes your speech much smoother, much more natural sounding.
Less mental construction work on the fly.
You got it. Much less taxing. Okay, moving on. Mistake number 6. Pausing too much. Or maybe pausing ineffectively.
I wanted air. Kind of pausing.
Yeah, those long, empty pauses. Everyone pauses sometimes to think. That's totally normal.
Sure, even native speakers do.
But when the pauses are very frequent, very long, and kind of empty, it can make you sound hesitant, lacking confidence.
And it can make it harder for the listener to follow, too. Breaks the flow.
Definitely. But the good news is there's a strategy for this. It's about using those pauses more effectively.
How? What do you do instead?
You use thinking time phrases, little filler phrases that signal you're thinking, but keep the conversation flowing smoothly.
Ah, like buying time phrases. What sort of things?
Things like, let me think for a moment, or that's a great question, or well, I guess, or even actually, or,
So you fill the silence, but signal you're still processing.
Exactly. It sounds much more natural than just, It gives you that crucial second to find your words without a jarring silence.
Okay, that's a practical one. Anything else for smoother flow?
Yeah, another technique which is really good for rhythm and reducing hesitation is called shadowing.
Shadowing. What's that involve?
It means listening to a native speaker, maybe from a podcast or video, and trying to repeat what they say almost at the same time, like their shadow.
So you're mimicking them in real time, not just the words, but the intonation.
Yeah. Exactly. The rhythm, the pitch changes, the connected speech, the pauses they use naturally. It helps you internalize the musicality of English.
Ah, so it trains your mouth and brain to produce that flow.
Precisely. It builds confidence and makes your own speech sound more fluid, reducing those hesitant pauses.
Interesting. Okay, shadowing. Got it. Next mistake.
Mistake 7. Relying only on passive practice.
What do you mean by passive practice, like watching movies or listening to music?
Yeah, exactly. Watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading articles or books in English, all very valuable from input for understanding.
Builds comprehension, vocabulary.
Definitely. But the mistake is doing only that. Just consuming the language without actively producing it yourself.
Right. It's all going in, but nothing's coming out.
You got it. It's like filling a library with books but never writing one yourself. Your speaking skills won't develop much if you're always just receiving.
So fluency requires active engagement.
Absolutely. You need strategies where you are actively using the language.
Okay, so what does that look like? Give us some active examples.
Well, you could listen to something short, like a news clip, then pause it, and immediately try to summarize the main points out loud in your own words.
Turning listening into speaking.
Exactly. Or read a paragraph, then look away and talk about your reaction to it, or explain the idea to an imaginary person.
Making reading active too.
Yes, and a really powerful one. When you learn a new phrase or word, make a point of using it, like right away.
How so?
Say you learn the phrase, I'm looking forward to it. Don't just write it down. Actively say, I'm looking forward to the weekend, or I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. Use it in a real or practice sentence that day.
Immediate application. Makes it stick.
Exactly. It moves the language from passive knowledge into your active toolkit.
Okay, active versus passive. Makes sense. What's the final mistake we're covering?
The final one, mistake number 8, is inconsistency.
The classic start-stop problem.
Yeah, you get really motivated, study like crazy for a week.
New notebooks, apps downloaded, big plans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then life happens. Things get busy, and English practice just fades away for weeks, maybe months.
Or you learn a bunch of words but never go back to review them, so they disappear.
That too. Fluency isn't built in short, intense bursts followed by nothing. It's a long game. It needs regular, consistent attention.
Like exercising or eating healthy. You can't just do it intensely for a week and expect lasting results.
Perfect comparison. Consistency really is king. Even short, regular sessions are far more effective long-term than occasional marathon study sessions.
So the solution is scheduling it, making a plan.
Pretty much. Having some kind of simple, realistic weekly plan can make a huge difference. Doesn't have to be rigid or overwhelming.
Just something to keep you engaged regularly.
Yes. Maybe allocate different small activities to different days.
Can you give a quick example of what that might look like?
Oh, sure. Maybe. Monday, listen and shadow a 5-minute podcast clip. Tuesday, talk about your day for 10 minutes to yourself or recorded. Wednesday, learn 3 new phrases and try to use one. Thursday, quick chat with a language partner if possible. Friday, review the week's phrases.
And the weekend.
Maybe something fun but active, like watch a short YouTube video in English and repeat some lines you like.
That sounds manageable. It's not hours every day.
Not at all. The amazing thing is, even just 15-20 minutes of focused, consistent practice each day adds up massively over time. It builds momentum and keeps the language fresh in your mind.
It's about building the habit.
Exactly. Sustainable habits beat short-term intensity every time for fluency.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of ground covered. 8 common mistakes.
Yep. So, quick recap. Thinking in your native language.
Solution. Think directly in English. Start small.
Fearing mistakes.
Solution. Embrace them. Communication over perfection. Speak anyway.
Not speaking enough.
Solution. Practice actively every day. Talk to yourself, read aloud, record.
Focusing too much on grammar while speaking.
Solution. Focus on being understood. Use grammar as a tool, not a barrier.
Learning single words, not phrases.
Solution. Learn word chunks, collocations, words in context.
Pausing too much or awkwardly.
Solution. Use thinking time phrases. Practice shadowing for rhythm.
Using only passive practice.
Solution. Make it active. Summarize, react, use new language immediately.
An inconsistent practice.
Solution. Create a simple, sustainable weekly plan. Consistency is key.
That's the essence of it. And remember, every little step you take, every time you try, you are building confidence and getting closer to your goal.
Absolutely. Okay, now let's try something really active right now. A quick speaking challenge for everyone listening.
Ooh, okay, let's do it.
Right. I'm going to say a few short sentences. I want you listening to repeat them out loud after me. Try to say them clearly, naturally, without big pauses. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, first one. Repeat after me. I am becoming a more confident English speaker.
I am becoming a more confident English speaker.
Good. Next. Every time I speak, I learn something new.
Every time I speak, I learn something new.
Nice. Now, it's okay to make mistakes when I'm learning.
It's okay to make mistakes when I'm learning.
Good affirmation. Next. I enjoy practicing my English every day.
I enjoy practicing my English every day.
And the last one, say it like you mean it. My English is improving steadily.
My English is improving steadily.
Excellent. See? Even just saying those things aloud can feel good, reinforce the positive.
Definitely a little boost of active practice right there.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, we've really unpacked those 8 common things that might be slowing you down.
But more importantly, we've looked at concrete things you can do about them, actionable strategies.
Remember those key takeaways. Try to think in English. Make speaking a daily habit, even if it's short.
Use real phrases, not just single words. Don't fear mistakes, see them as steps forward.
And practice consistently. That's the secret sauce, really.
It truly is. And hey, to help you put all this into action, we've put together a free resource.
Oh yeah? What's that?
It's a Fluency Builders Toolkit. You can download it. The link is right there in the description.
Toolkit. What's inside?
It's got a checklist of these mistakes, a daily planner template to help you build that consistent habit, some specific exercises based on what we talked about, and even some short transcripts you can use to try that shadowing technique.
Oh, that's brilliant. Really practical stuff to follow up with.
We hope so. Something tangible to help you apply these ideas.
Definitely grab that, everyone. And of course, if you found this helpful, do subscribe so you catch our future deep dives on language learning.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Remember, fluency isn't some magic endpoint you suddenly reach.
It's a journey, right?
Exactly. It's a habit you build day by day, conversation by conversation. Keep practicing, keep trying, stay positive.
You've got this. Keep speaking.